Hey guys, we're on air and we're live right now. 1 second, I just gotta turn this down because my brother's gonna play some Call of Duty in the background. Um, Now I thought I would do a vlog because I've been seeing John Von Shelton do them a lot lately, and I'm a person that likes to talk a fair bit, and I like to talk about what's going on in my life, and so I wanted to talk to you all about what is going on in my life right now and you know, what the plan is and, everything that is surrounding and involving me. Um, well, for starters, there has been a few issues going on. A few issues with contracts regarding a certain film release, which has now been cancelled. So the film is no longer being released with that company. Doesn't mean the film's not being released. I'm pretty damn sure it is going to be released because it's a damn good movie. It is a very good movie. It's just the company we had signed with was so shady and didn't freaking do their end. They didn't do their part, and they kept me in the dark for so long. And there's so many other people, right, that have dealt with the company I had signed with, and I haven't spoken their name a lot everywhere. And I'm making sure that I'm getting rid of their name off of IMDb, so they have nothing to do with IMDb or anything that can promote their company, because yeah, what happened? There was a lot of bad things going on. There was a bit of blackmailing going on from their end. I don't want to go into too many details because I was being asked to pay for this and that. That there was no physical documentation or any physical proof, visual proof, that they had done any work on the movie to get it ready for the release. Now, I wanted to get the rights back because 11 months had passed, and it says in the contract, after 11 months, if after 9 months that the film had not been released to any of the territories, the rights would revert back to me in those territories. They didn't release it to one territory. They released it to no territories. The film wasn't released at all. We got 11 months, and we're sitting there, and there's no release. Now imagine how frustrating that would be for me, having a deal that I'd signed with a company that I was expecting them to deliver on their end, and they didn't deliver. They promised me so much. They said, we're going to do this. We're going to market it like it's this. We're going to do that. And then they shelf it. I went to them first. Okay, now let me just clear something out. I went to them first. Right, I gave them the film. They got other movies after they got mine, but they went onto these bigger budget movies, right? And they released them, the ones that they got after they got mine. So they didn't move ahead with mine, they moved ahead with the other ones. But maybe that was because it took some time to get a few things done. Now, there was a lot of weird issues going on with that release and that whole deal, because when I wanted out, when it was 11 months later and I wanted it out, they're like, no, we're going to release it in October. It's so close. We're going to announce it in September. We're going to do this and that, and you can't tell the public yet. Don't tell the public we're announcing it in September. Don't say anything. And I'm just sitting there going, this is just bullshit. This is so fucking shady, because they told me on multiple times, about 5 different times, there was going to be a release happening on certain dates. They told me there was going to be a December release. That never happened. They told me there was going to be a fucking release in November last year. That never happened. They told me it was going to be November, then December. Then they said it's going to be January. Then they pushed it to February. Then they pushed it to March. And I'm sitting there going, fuck, how many more months are you going to fucking push it back? And then fast forward, I leave it for a few months because I don't want to talk to them at this point. I'm just fed up with being told it's going to happen here, it's going to happen there. And you know what they would do? This is what was so weird. They would act like they were getting ready for the release, like they had everything ready, everything all good to go. And then they'd come to me with an email saying, you need to send us as much art as you can right now because we're getting ready for the release on this date. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You told me that you guys were releasing like 2 months ago and you never asked me for any art or anything. What is going on? And that you know, they wouldn't fucking say. They would never say. They would always leave you in the dark. They would never get around to anything at all. And it was frustrating for me, and it is because I've dealt with too many of these shady companies. I've probably come across ones that I've been majorly fucked over only 2 times. Only 2 times I've had that. You know, where they leave you in the dark for a long time. They tell you they're going to do big things with your film, and then nothing happens. You know, I've had that twice. I had that from, you know, he was a good friend of mine. I don't talk to him very much anymore. You know, he's a bit of a personal friend, but you know, the guy obviously wasn't serious enough because he couldn't get it done. And then, you know, then what happened with Parade, and you know, that was just, ugh. And you know, I did post online because I wanted, you know, the public to know that the rights were mine. I wanted the public to know. So I posted the contract. I posted, you know, screenshots of the contract, and you know, when a contract is null and void and it's default and it's no longer being able to be of use or be put to action, there's really nothing that can be done legally. If you're saying, well, the deal's done, it's over now, that's fine. I can show that contract to the public if I want, because that deal is done. That deal is over. That fucking contract that I had and that he had, that's no longer in use. So I don't have to keep that confidential. If that's done, if that contract is dead and has no more life left in it, and it has nothing to pin against me or against them, it's done, because he's defaulted in so many different freaking factors of that contract. And I read it, and he thought he could get away with it. He thought that I was just a young, naive, silly, you know, stupid teenager that didn't know anything. He thought, you know, nah, this is just a young 19-year-old filmmaker that doesn't know anything. He's just starting out. It's fine. I can get away with it. I can blackmail him. I can scare him into keeping his film with me. Do this whole hostage thing. I wasn't taking that, man. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to sit back and go, yeah, go for it, man. I'm just going to be a bitch while you fucking play me like a puppet and keep me here for 11 months after the contract expires. Yeah, you know, it, because I hadn't had to look at the contract in a long time, and you know, that's how I got out of it. Was that one default, because I said, you know, I was talking to a, you know, I like to think of him as a friend. You know, I won't name his name because I don't want to say that. You know, he hasn't given me permission to say anything, so I'm not going to say anything. But he released a film with them, and he said that he had a similar experience that was very, you know, not very nice. And, you know, he had to get the rights back for another film. He had to, you know, send in a quit claim. He had to do all this stuff to make sure his next film that he had coming out, because he'd already released one with them, he had another one coming out. So he had to get the rights back for that. So he, you know, he sent in a quit claim and he threatened a lawsuit and everything. It's pretty much what I did. You know, I got his advice because I was looking of a way out, because this was just such a toxic deal, and I needed a way out. You know, me and my brother, when I signed this, Dylan, and he's in the room right now. He'll fucking say it in the background. This deal, he never liked it. Dylan,
No,
you know,
I liked from day one.
yeah, like I remember at the beginning we were kind of excited because we thought we were getting something different and we're getting something new, but after a while, Dylan started to notice the cracks, and I tried to give the guy a chance. I really did. I you know, I was like, well, we got to multiple times before the whole 11 months later thing happened. There was multiple times where I said to Michael, are you even interested in this anymore? Like, can we end the deal? And he's like, yeah, we can do that if you want, you know, and he was fine with it. And I was like, well, he's like, oh, if you have to do what you have to do, we have to do what we have to do. And I'm just like, you know, I'll leave it be. I'll see how it goes. And I tried to give them a chance because I wanted to support their company, you know, because they're independent and they're, you know, I just thought they stood for something good, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
The bad thing is as well is that they do this to up and comer filmmakers. So this is good. When this happens to someone else, they might be like, no, I don't want to go for this anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Like this will stop someone from accomplishing their dreams.
Yeah. And yeah, it stopped me for 11 months and my brother because we wanted to get this film out. We wanted to get it out as sooner as, you know, possible. But I think this happened for the better. I actually do think it happened for the better. I think this needed to actually happen.
Yeah.
It did, because it's put a fresh, you know, view for me of where I want to be as a filmmaker and, you know, what kind of companies I want to be selling my work to. And not only just what kinds of companies. You know, I've managed to meet and build up a bit of a decent relationship over time, you know, over that time of, you know, back then to now, I had no contacts really. You know, I had my good friend, Charles Bailey. You know, I get on great with Charles, you know, he's an awesome guy and he's helping me with, you know, The Thin Man and the release and everything. He is actually a producer on this. So, you know, bit of a plug there for you, Charles, if you do happen to see this. You know, so Charles is helping out with a lot of stuff. He's helped with coding the Blu-ray. You know, here's a funny thing, that the company that I was dealing with, you know, they're saying, oh, the film's so hard to code because you put it in the wrong specs. And it's very weird because there are multiple different independent filmmakers that know very well how the specifics of things work and how, you know, coding works. And I'd sent them stuff over and they're like, it's perfectly fine. The specs that the company is sending you are actually really dodgy. And I'm like, what? Oh, what, really? And they're like, yeah, they're fucking dodgy as fuck. And then he sent me a version because what happened was he wanted certain specs that he wanted to post through. And, you know, I got Austin to do it and it ended up looking so fucking fucked that it was like, shit, man. Now, obviously, these guys must be fucking, I don't know, out of their mind or whatever. But, you know, Charles able to code the movie in Blu-ray within 15 fucking hours. Just leave it, saving for 15 hours. Done. They were acting like it was taking months and months and so much work. And they even tried to blackmail me for so much money when I wanted my movie back. They said, you're going to need to pay. Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay this and that and that. I said, well, okay, we're going to have to get legal this then, aren't we? And as soon as I brought in legal and I got real serious and I was like, no, I'm not joking anymore. You've defaulted and that I can get legal to, you know, get you done. He was like, oh, you know what? I don't care about you and your movie anyway. You can have it. And he dropped it as quick as that. You know, if he had wasted so much money on a product, and he, you know, he said he had a lawyer. Why not just take you to fucking court? Why back down like a fucking bitch and act like, oh no, it's all right. No, forget me. Fucking, oh, you know what? I don't want to. No. I don't care about you, your movie, you know, leave it. It was just, it was such a pansy move. because I was serious. I had access to legal people. I was really going to fucking do it. I really wanted to as well. I said to him, let's do this. I'd be fucking happy to. Right now, I'd be so fucking happy just to get the legal team ready and to prove in court that I am the fucking victor, you know. I was so ready to do that, and I had the access. I really did have the access. You know, it's funny enough, you know, he would have had to probably pay. I had it for free. You know, I had top barristers for fucking free that I could have just gone to and said, you know, the top barristers are the ones who freaking got me out of hospital when they had me on an unfair and, you know, really bad mental health act that I was never supposed to be on in the first place, you know. So that worked out fucking awesome. And it still would have worked out awesome again if I went to court with him and his company, which is probably, it's not even a company, it's just one run by him. So I've been told anyway. Anyway, as I was saying, so this is kind of, I guess this has turned into, you know, I wouldn't say it's a rant because I'm not really, I guess it is a bit of a rant. Fuck it. Let's just say it's a rant. So
it's just talking the truth.
It's, yeah, I'm talking the truth. You know, it's not a bad rand. It's not like I'm bitter. I'm not bitter at all.
Shit, man.
No, I never asked for this, man. And like he was trying to say, oh, it's defamation of character. You're talking bad about me and my company. I never talked bad about you. And I'm like, oh, Michael, you never talk bad about me. I should bleep his name out. You know, I've accidentally dropped the name, so I'm not going to say the rest of his name. So, you know, and I've not said the proper name of his company. So, you know, but he just, oh, guys, like, he's like, I don't care about you in the movie anyway. He's like, oh. And he was such a nasty person. Like, you try to be nice to the guy and you try to speak nicely with him when you're doing business with him. And the guy would come back with just such short and what seemed to be really like nasty replies, you know, and sometimes he'd just be so like, you'd send him over something and go, no, we're not using that. No. And just so short. And, you know, I had an opportunity multiple times to meet the guy on Skype, but I never did. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because I probably would not have got on with the guy. Like, I know a guy, like I said, I had a friend that did business with the company, met him in person, knew the guy, met him. He said, I didn't like the guy. I didn't like him. This is what the other guy said to me. This is not my words. I'm not saying this is me. I'm saying, you know, the person, you know, that I'm not going to disclose their information of who they are. But they said that, you know what, I get the vibe he's a drug addict. And I was like, well, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. I wouldn't be. But anyway, I'm not going to go bad mouthing. I don't want to bad mouth. I don't want to put anyone down. Like, I'm just annoyed that I got screwed over again. Like, that's 2 times that I got screwed over majorly, but I've learnt massively now. Like, I am not, and I repeat this
again. Never.
This is not happening again.
I'll go fucking.
I'm not going to a low budget distribution company ever again. I'm not going to the low of the low. I'm sick of it, because every time I do that to try and help out someone's cause or someone's company, do you know what they're really doing? And this is a sad fact. This is a sad reality of it all. And I'll tell you this right now. So many people all over the world are making their own content. You know, independent filmmakers, that's what they do. If they don't have access to a company, they're doing hard work. And I say hard with extra emphasis because it's the fucking truth. I myself, I'm a 2-man crew with my brother. You know, we work on our own. And at the moment, I've had to work all by myself on the, you know, the latest film that we're doing, Thin Man 2. You know, because Dylan, you know, he's been you know, he's had his mind focused on other stuff. You know, so he hasn't been able to do this particular project with me, you know, creatively, like directing and whatnot. But yeah, like it's so fucking tough to be an independent filmmaker. Now, here's what the sad reality is. There's these companies out there, there's these distribution companies that they act like they're giving people like us that aren't well known, or, you know, that aren't, you know, what's the word? We're not really out in the public eye very much. You know, you don't get to see our work because really there's hardly any avenues that we can, you know, show our work. So they act like they're giving us a platform. They act like, oh, we're doing you a favor. But at the end of the day, guys, don't you fucking dare. And I'm looking at you right now. If you're an independent filmmaker and you make films, don't you fucking dare for 1 minute sit there and think that they're doing you a favor. Do you know why? Because most of the time with companies like that, you're actually doing them a favor. You're giving them too much of a favor because you're giving them your work. But you know what the sad thing is, and this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm getting at, is most of the time indie filmmakers don't see a dime for their work, and the companies that are distributing the film, that they never did any hard work on it at all. The filmmakers did. The companies that are releasing it didn't. But they're taking all the film's money. They're taking all of the releases money. They're taking all the money in general going towards that release. And they're using it on their company or their selves or whatever the hell they're doing. And yeah, that's the truth, guys. It's the sad reality of it all. If you're signing a contract that isn't upfront pay, you're not getting paid. And that's what that situation was there as well with me. I was too excited. I signed the contract. There wasn't upfront pay. And I'm glad I got out of that, because there's no upfront pay from what that guy, you know, had for me. And he was not going to give me any money, because he never gave the other guy, who I'm not going to mention, he didn't give him any money. And, you know, he's had similar experiences with other companies as well. You know, they'll do the whole royalty thing and they'll act like you're going to get money eventually, but you don't. You never do. You never will. It's just their, you know, their lie, their hook to try and get you in. Oh, we won't be able to give you money now, but when we make a certain amount, you get money. It's just bullshit. You know, they're securing so many rights for so many films, and they're releasing it, and they're getting all this money because people are buying it, of course. You'd think they'd be able to give some cash out, you know, but like I said, guys, I'm not going for the whole royalty thing. If you ever get a contract presented to you and you're an independent filmmaker, I say put yourself up on a more high pedestal. You really deserve better than that. If you're wanting to sell your work, and then you don't want to just rush out and go, oh, I just want my work to be seen. You want to, you know, if
that was our
if that's your,
we'll just go with anyone because we just want people to see it.
Yeah, if you want it to be your profession, you're going to have to get money, aren't you? And if you're working hard on something and it's called work, you know, you did hard work on your film. Work, what is something that is associated with work? What does work get you? Money. Money. That's the simple thing. I'm not saying it's all about the money. It's not, because for so many years I didn't give a shit. I still don't. But at the same time, sorry, throat issues, the illness is playing up. But at the same time, guys, you know, it's it's the fact of life. You need to put food on your table. You need to do stuff. This is the way I want to do it. This is my work. This is what I do. I haven't been paid yet for it, of course. I haven't, I haven't had a set deal that has actually seen a positive end. I'm hoping that will happen. I've got some connections that I'm trying to reach out to and, trying to get things done. I've got Charles Bailey that's helping me out at the moment. I reached out to another couple of guys that I know, asking because, there's some people that I know that are well known and they've released films on Netflix, right? So they would have the connections to Netflix. Therefore, I'm trying my damned hardest to see if they would be able to help me and link me in with that and set up, giving me their contact details or how to get in touch with Netflix, because if I can get that, then I'm set, because I don't really think Netflix is too sketchy or dodgy. I don't, it's a big worldwide company. Everyone knows Netflix. I'd be getting my work seen everywhere. I know that. And not only just getting my work seen everywhere, I think I'd be able to earn a decent amount too, because it's a big company. And I've got the sequel of Thin Man coming as well. I had to make it. People be like, "Oh, you should have announced it after Thin Man 1." But I was sick of waiting. I was sick of just sitting around going, "Oh," because I'd already done the first film in 2015 and so much time had passed, and I was just sitting there thinking, wow, this movie could have been released so much earlier, but this company ruined it for so many people because so many people were hyped up for it. And now it's like, and I had, the press screening releasings, I'm looking to get a few more of them done again, so, a bit more hype is built for the film and its release, when it finally does happen publicly. Yeah, so it's tough because, people were so excited. They're like, yeah, we love this movie. Had so many positive reviews. And of course, they were like, oh, this could have been improved, that could have been improved. But, people enjoyed it. And people really did embrace the film and say, yeah, this is a great piece of independent film, and they, I got a bit of praise, and that made me feel good because I was trying to go for a real vibe of the movie. I wanted it to feel real. I wanted it to feel raw. And that's what I was going for. I was going for a modern day Blair Witch, really. That just felt like a raw, real documentary that you're sitting back and you're watching it and going, you know what, this feels like raw files that come straight out of the video camera, something that, wasn't really manipulated or, fucked around with in editing or anything like that. It just feels totally and entirely real. My beautiful girlfriend's just got in the door. Hello, my love. She's just coming from work, like. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was going for, and that's what the audience felt they had got, and that's what they praised. Really, was the rawness and the realness of it all, and not just the rawness and the realness, but the I guess the realness does tie in with everything, because with the way me and Dylan and Jordan interact with each other, that's entirely real, but it's only it's entirely real, but at the same time it's turned up a notch, so we're not really drunken dickheads that put women down and shit, because we don't do that. That's not who we are. So that side of it, and the drunken side of it, because I don't drink alcohol at all, I'm completely sober. That's the type of person I am. you know, I've only had a few drinks in my life, but I'm a person that likes to stay sober. I don't like to drink alcohol, get drunk. And, you know, I couldn't even do that now if I wanted to, because you know, my health issues, it would fuck me up big time. But, you know, it was just so funny because it felt so natural, and everyone was like, yeah, no, that actually feels like so real. And, you know, there was one guy that was just, he hated the characters because of how much of dickheads we were acting, you know, drinking the alcohol, fucking butchering a toad on screen, you know, calling up Jordan's, you know, ex-girlfriend, who was really his ex-girlfriend in real life as well, which is kind of funny. And they had to do that whole scene where they're arguing after the breakup, and it's so funny because it was so real, because it was actually like stuff that was real. They actually were, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend in the past. And it was kind of funny because if you went on their Facebook pages or you went on their, you know, accounts, you could see that they, you know, had photos of them to fucking kissing and shit and all this stuff. And it was just so funny to see them arguing on the screen and kind of burying the hatchet as well, of like when they used to be negative about everything, because they were both interested in acting. And I was like, Jordan, how do you feel going into this? And he's just like, oh my gosh, this is fucking weird. And me and Dylan were laughing our heads off. We were enjoying it. We did a full documentary of the leading up to that scene where they were finally going to have that reuniting thing on Skype, you know, with that scene, because they hadn't really talked before that scene. That was like what you're watching on screen. That's the first time they're speaking to each other since, you know, they'd broken up and like argued really bad years before, and they hadn't spoken for a long time. And then you see all that shit on screen and it's just gold. But, you know, after it, we were talking and like, you know, I gave them a quick rundown of what was going to happen before we shot it all. But, you know, it was fucking awesome, really. And they both did really well under the circumstances. You know, it's funny because it was so awkward, but at the same time, it's just like something that is just enjoyable to do. Anyway, that was a great film, and that was good fun for me. Number two's been all right so far. It's been a bit of fun. Yeah, we've got a bit more to do. We've wrapped up all of Alistair's stuff, so it's now down to me and Nathan to do, you know, our few scenes that are left. And yeah, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, just still a bit to do this vlog and just talk about a whole bunch of shit, have a rant, you know, whatever the fuck I need to do. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all later. I'm a bit tired, and you know, I'm a bit out of information to be talking with you all about. You know, I did a video earlier, 2K gaming, you know, WWE, and in that video I said that I had an interview with Lance Hoyt, and I'm saying it again here. I had an interview with Lance Hoyt, you know, Lance Archer, whatever you know him as. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my channel. It's on my channel. Go check it out. Go give it a like, subscribe if you're new. Yeah, I'm hoping to keep things rolling. I'm hoping to keep things going. Bit of a setback with the whole former distribution company, but it's good now because it's given me a fresh view. It's given me the right mindset anyway about what I need to be doing in order to market the actual film itself, and not only that, you know, get it sold and get it sold the right way, like actually get it properly sold, and to the right company, of course. It needs to be the exact right company. It can't be just anything, you know, okay, like any old company in the street. You know, most of any old company in the street is your low-end distribution, you know, and that's not what I want at all. I always envision bigger for this franchise, and I'll be damned if I don't get bigger. So I'm going after bigger, and that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, if I don't get it, I don't get it. But I'm going to be going after it, and hopefully I'll fucking get it. Anyway, guys, I encourage you, all filmmakers, please do not, you know, if you've got someone that you know you can trust, and you know they can, you know, get your film out there, get it distributed, you know, and I keep saying, you know, I've just picked up on that right now. I keep doing it because I'm so fucked in the head because I'm so tired. But yeah, if you've got someone that can distribute your film that you are confident they can do it good, or not only just that, or if you trust them and you just want to support their cause and you want to release your work for them, do it. But make sure you freaking trust the person and you know them. Make sure you know them on a personal level too, not just, oh, I know them from talking to them online, or I know them from this. You want it to be really good and personal. You want to know how this person operates. You want to know how they do business. You know, that's just how you've got to go about it. If you're going to go low-end distribution, is what I'm saying. But most of the time, low-end distribution, you don't really see a lot of you know, positive outcomes for the films and releases, because hardly anyone sees it. Not just hardly anyone. It's a bit of an issue with sometimes the films never get released, and that's a bit of a tough one for people that do sign deal and wait for the release. It never happens. It's just shit. But anyway, freaking either do someone you know. If you can't do that, then just do a well-known company. Go after the big guns. Go after them. Find a way to get in, and just, you know, find a way to get it done. That's all I can say, really. Just keep at it. Just keep doing your work, and you will see results. It might be a long, hard road. You know, I've been filmmaking since 2012. You know, properly on my own with my brother, and you know, I've been on this distribution road and journey since 2012. It started in 2012. I'm in 2016 now, midway near the end of the year. I haven't really had any of my work distributed yet because I've ran over so many shady people. And that's what I'm saying, guys. You want to go big, or you want to go with someone you know. And that's really all I've got to say, guys. That's all I've got to say. Don't let any fucking distribution company that's low end try and, you know, earn money off of your work and not give you anything for it, because they don't deserve it. They don't. You know, I said to the company that was about to release my film, and said I want the rights back. And as a matter of fact, I already had them to begin with, because another issue in the contract was they didn't sign their end of the contract. So therefore, I was the only one with the signature on there. If I don't receive a copy of their signature, it doesn't fucking count. But they're acting like it counted for so long, and they were fine with it and everything. And then, you know, they still acted like they had their signature on there. I said, you know what? You never sent me the signature. Plus, you haven't done this within the 9 months. So it's all mine. And basically, practically was mine all along. The rights were always mine. It's just they fucked around me. But anyway, I'll talk to you all later, guys. And just my advice from where I stand now, from what I've been through over the years: go big or go home. That's what I'm saying. Go big or go home. Yeah, and what I mean by that, big companies, go after them.